What is up, guys? My name is Mikey, and today we're going to be talking about NFL, the top 3 running backs, the top 3 receivers, wide receivers, and the top 3 quarterbacks of 2014, in my opinion. So, if you guys disagree with what I feel with the certain players that I've chosen, let me know, and let me know your guys' top 3s in that position, or if you guys would add someone and take someone out, which is fine in my opinion, because I could be wrong, but this is, it's all opinions, so this is just really how I feel and what I feel how it should be. So going off first, we'll start with running backs, and number 1 I would say would be, obviously, just off of stats and everything and what he's done this year, I would say DeMarco Murray would be the number 1 running back in the league right now. As of 2014, he rushed for 1,845 yards with 13 touchdowns, and also caught 416 yards. So, but no touchdowns on the receptions area. But other than that, over 2,000 yards. Rushing for almost 2,000 yards alone. That's just amazing. DeMarco Murray is a great running back, and there's a lot of props this year for what he has done. So there's that. And number 2 is Le'Veon Bell. He is actually my favorite running back in the league, period. But I'm going to give him the number 2 spot just because of DeMarco and what he did this year. But, Le'Veon was no slouch either. I mean, he picked up 1,361 yards to go with 8 touchdowns on the ground, and also picked up 854 yards from receiving, from catching the ball, also to go with that 3 touchdowns. So not bad, great season for him. Second season in the league, and hopefully he's well and he can play in the first game of the playoffs this Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. And that would be amazing. But if not, hopefully he can be well enough, and if the Steelers can get by the Ravens, which I think they will, then he can be good enough to go up against the Patriots. Which, that would be cool and all, but I am worried about that, because if Le'Veon's healthy going against my team, I don't want to deal with that. But anyways, the number 3 running back, in my opinion, would be Marshawn Lynch. This was tough. There's a lot of other guys. Man, when I was making this list, I could think of so many other guys that I could put in there. I could put Jamal Charles. I could put Arian Foster. I could put who else? I can't think of them right now, but I know I was thinking of a lot of them when I was doing the list. But I ended up picking Marshawn Lynch Beast Mode. He had a great season. And, he's just, I think he's been injured all year. I think his back has been bothering him, all year. And he's just been playing great. He picked up 1,306 yards on the ground and 13 touchdowns. Also picking up 367 yards receiving for 4 touchdowns receiving, too. So, out of everyone, he picked up the most touchdowns in total, was 17 touchdowns. But just Marshawn was a great running back this year, and pretty much every year that he plays. And I also think it's funny how he handles the media. I know people disagree with it, but I don't think he should have to talk. You got Russell Wilson, who's the leader of the team. He's going to talk. The coach is going to talk. He loves talking. And obviously you got Richard Sherman, who won't shut up for the life of him. So, Sherman, you don't really need Marshawn to talk. Marshawn lets his talking be how he plays. And I think that's good enough, in my opinion. But anyways, let's get into the top 3 receivers of 2014. And this one was hard, guys. This one could have gone anywhere. And I actually put up 4 guys I'm going to talk about, because I just couldn't think of, who the solid 3 would be. And you guys can give me your guys' 3. That will be the question of the day for this one. Who's the top 3 receivers? Because I don't know. And you can correct me on any of the other ones too. But receivers is just a tough one, man. I couldn't think of who to do what. And anyways, though, number 1, and this is going to be a shocking one for you guys, and I'll explain why he's number 1 for me. And it's not just because of that super awesome catch, but it's it's way more than that. But number one, I got Odell Beckham Jr., and the reason why is he has 1,305 yards and 12 touchdowns, and he's a rookie, and he's only played 12 games this season. 12 games. He didn't play the first four, and then first four of the game for the season. He didn't play first 4 games, and then had like a slow start with the first 4 games I think he played, and then just the last 8 games just went beast. I think only 2 games out of the last 8 or 9 or 8 or 9 games, only 2 of them were under 100 yards, and they were both 90 or 93 yards, and the rest of them were 100 plus yards a game, and getting a touchdown, pretty much averaged a touchdown per game. He only played 12 games, ended up the end of the season with 12 touchdowns and 1,305 yards. Could have easily led the league in yards if he would have been able to start from the start of the season. So Odell Beckham Jr. gets the number 1 receiver for me, and it's not just because of that crazy awesome catch. That was amazing, but it's mainly because of the stats and just how he plays. He's just, he's a truck, man. He's good, man. He's good. He's the future for sure. Odell Beckham Jr. is a great receiver. He's going to be the future, and he's going to be, the next Calvin Johnson. That past that, I think he'll be better than Calvin Johnson, Megatron. I think he'll be better than Dez. I don't know right now if he'll be better than Jerry Rice. No one can touch that. But, he can be there. He can be there. I have a lot of faith in him. And he's even on the team that I hate. I hate the Giants. And as a Patriots fan, you guys should know why I hate the Giants. But, he has a lot of talent. And I love watching that guy. And I hate the Giants, but I will watch them just to watch him, to see how he plays. So, yeah, Odell Beckham Jr. gets the number 1 spot for me. Then, number 2, I have Dez Bryant, based off of just, pure, talent and just the, getting 16 touchdowns. He ran for, he ran for 1,320 yards receiving, which is great. Not the highest amount of yards out of these guys, but 16 touchdowns. He's reliable. He's consistent. He's just one of those go-to guys that you want in the red zone. So I got Dez Bryant at number 2, and then number 3 is a toss-up between Antonio Brown and Jordy Nelson. Jordy Nelson just off pure talent. Just going off. Setting the record for 40+ yards, touchdown, receiving yards. Just playing great. He picked up 1,519 yards for 13 touchdowns. He's amazing. He's an amazing receiver, so I really like Jordy Nelson. And Antonio Brown also setting the record this year in most reception yards with 1,698 reception yards with 13 touchdowns receiving. Plus, he's a beast at returning punts and all of that. I think he returned 3 punts this year or something like that. I can't remember the exact number, but I think it was 3. Notably, the last game they played, a 71-yard punt return against the Bengals. So, Antonio Brown is also another great receiver in the league. And there's more. I couldn't think. Obviously Megatron. I couldn't think of who to put on the list, but I definitely have Odell Beckham Jr. at number 1, no matter what. And then the rest is just all up to debate. That was hard. I couldn't think of it. So, you let me know, guys. You guys let me know about the receivers that you guys think are the top in the 2014. So, and finally, we're going to finish it with quarterbacks this episode, and then tomorrow or sometime this week, I will get to other positions. I won't do tight ends because there's not a lot of tight ends making any noise this year other than Gronk. All of the other ones, just subpar. Jimmy Graham did good. He was quiet. He had a quiet, good season. Just kind of fell off at the end. Julius Thomas also got hurt. Vernon Davis his problems and not being targeted really at all at the last month. Just kind of brought their hype down and just who would be the best to put there. But anyways, we'll go into quarterbacks now to end this episode. And the top 3 quarterbacks I have, number 1 is Tom Brady. and that is biased, and I will say that with all my heart. That is biased. So you guys can give me your top 3 quarterbacks too, but Tom Brady is number 1 for me just because of, he's my favorite team's quarterback. So 4,109 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. He had a great year. Led his team to the number 1 seed in the AFC, and we have home field advantage. And he's just a great quarterback, consistent and unselfish. Renegotiating his contract to clear up $24 million to keep players or sign new players. That's really unselfish, and that shows how much heart he has for the sport and for his team to give up money just to make sure that his team can keep getting better. That's amazing. So huge kudos to him on that one. And then number 2 quarterback, I got Aaron Rodgers. In reality, he's probably number 1. I know, but Tom Brady's number 1 for me. But Aaron Rodgers, 4,381 yards, 38 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions. A beast at home. Just playing out of his mind great. RELAX. Just relax. And he did pull it together. And the Green Bay Packers are going to be a problem in the postseason, but I'm not sure if they can get past the Seahawks if they make it there. I don't know. Seahawks are, they're a beast at home, so we'll see how that goes. It's going to be fun to talk about when that happens, if it does. And then number 3 quarterback, this is up to discussion. You got Peyton, you got Andrew Luck, you got Phillip Rivers. You got those guys that you can bring up, but just out of respect and what he did do, he had a great season. I'm going to put Tony Romo at number 3. Normally, I would never say that. I'm not a Cowboys fan at all, and I don't really particularly like Tony Romo, but he had a great season. He led his Cowboys to the number 1 in their division, in their NFC South, or I think it's the South. I'm not sure. Led him to number 1. He threw for 3,705 yards, not bad, and 34 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. So, a little bit better than Brady's on that one. 1 more touchdown, same interceptions. He did good though. He had a great season, and largely due to DeMarco Murray cutting him some slack and letting him be calm and patient and be able to make moves the quarterback should be doing. So those are my top 3 quarterbacks of 2014. Make sure you guys let me know your guys' top 3 in running backs, receivers, and quarterbacks. Definitely the receivers ones, because I didn't know who to say, guys. I just didn't know. That one was tough. But Odell Beckham Jr. is definitely number 1 there. And then MVP. This is just another bias thing. Brady. I'm just going to say Brady. You guys let me know who your MVP is, too. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you guys leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. And then also, as I said in the last episode, gameplays will be coming back soon. Alright, guys. Peace.